Hello everyone and welcome back to Make Your Mind. Take this off for a second, there we go. This is the latest of my horror-based sculpture showcases and also the latest of my SCPs. This SCP coming up is an interesting one because it does not have a body, but it is in fact an item. But it is an item that has been around for a very long time, but it's also an item that has a deadly secret, and extremely deadly for all of those who are influenced by it and who happen to wear it. So, ladies and gents, for this sculpture showcase, I present to you SCP-035, The Mask. Of course, it has many different appearances, but SCP-035 appears to be a white porcelain comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. It'll have a frown instead of a smile. In these events, all existing visual records such as photographs, video footage, and even illustrations of SCP-035 automatically change to reflect its new appearance, so any picture that's ever taken of this, no matter what it looks like, it'll always change to whatever face it currently has at that time. Even if the picture was taken 1,000 years ago, if it was taken 10 minutes ago, doesn't matter. SCP-035 has full control over every form of media that it has. A highly corrosive and degenerative viscous liquid constantly seeps from the eyes and mouth holes, as you can see here. It's this... Essentially what it is that when somebody wears this mask, the liquid coming off of it is actually the waste from the sustenance of the mask actually stealing nutrients from its host, which in many cases is a person. Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it has decayed completely into a pool of the original contaminant, so it literally assimilates and festers into itself. And that also happens to any person who would just so happen to be influenced to actually put the mask on. Truly terrifying indeed. Hence the construction choice of its immediate container, which in this case is a glass case. Living organisms that come into contact with the substance reach much the same way. With no chance of recovery, origin of the liquid is unknown. Liquid is only visible from the front and does not emerge or is even visible from any of the sides. It only comes out of the front. So essentially, whatever touches this mask slowly decays over time, so any host that becomes a part of the mask essentially will be consumed and then discarded eventually as this black liquid. Truly terrifying. Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters or 5 to 6 feet of SCP-035 or in visual contact with it experience a strong urge to put it on. When SCP-035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from SCP-035 overlaps that of the original host. Wow. So this thing can actually obtain its host's memories for a time, and even their cognition, and maybe even their dialect as well as the way they talk. Interesting. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate. Now they vary depending on who wears the mask. Somebody with a stronger cognitive, somebody who honestly is smarter and has a stronger brain, will decay much slower. Let's see here. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses, so they basically get sucked dry. Nevertheless, SCP-035 has demonstrated its ability to remain in cognitive control of a body experiencing severe structural damage. Even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible, no effect is found to be had when placed on the face of a human or animal. So there are some animals that can wear this. And apparently the end game of the entity that is SCP-035 is actually to possess SCP-682, the unkillable reptile. Because it's a creature that can never be destroyed, therefore the mask can take infinite sustenance and all of that wealth of knowledge. But the only problem is SCP-682 is, well, a reptile, and clearly reptiles like that can't wear masks, and neither would a 682 actually adapt to be able to wear a mask, so that's certainly not going to happen for SCP-035. Conversations with SCP-035 have proven to be informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general. Apparently, SCP-035 has somewhat of a history with SCP-049, the Plague Doctor. And they're not too fond of each other. Needless to say, they both have their own methods. SCP-035 claims to have been at many monumentous events. SCP-035 displays a highly intelligent and charismatic personality. It's influential, charismatic. Seems like a likable, well, person? Not really a person, a likable entity, likable thing. SCP-035 has scored in the 99th percentile of all intelligence and aptitude tests administered to it, and appears to have a completely photographic memory. Now that also depends on which host has it at the time. If the host has a photographic memory, then so will SCP-035. However, if SCP-035 doesn't have the smartest individual as a host, it tends to lose its memory, so the host does have an effect. What a truly insane thing. A mask that has the ability to possess and then consume the humans and or creatures that come into contact with it. And when they come close, they become influenced by the mask. I mean, look at that mask. Doesn't it look so jolly, so happy? Not quite. But with that, that was a little peek into the SCP universe with SCP-035. What a crazy thing. So with that, that concludes the video. If you like videos like this, don't forget to leave a like down below, and also subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, so you don't miss the next video. I've got many more of these SCP videos coming, so stay tuned, and I will see you on the next Sculpture Showcase.